Sup, you chuckle fucks? It's your boy, Dark White Goo here with the What If Issei was the reincarnation of Doflamingo Doxy. Or Doxy Doflamingo, whatever you like to think about it, but let me begin into this what if. Also, if my voice is a little bit deep, let me try to change it. Okay, better. Probably. No, not the point. I just woke up a while ago, kind of. I not really woke up, mostly just fell asleep and took a quick nap, woke up back again, and tried to take another nap, woke up back again. It's just random, I don't know why, fuck, whatever. So, of course, mostly this is part 3 of this what if, and of course, let me just begin into this what if, let me shut the fuck up, and let me begin into this what if. So, we'll begin into mostly Issei Hiro, also known as Doflamingo, right now going to school. Of course, this is where, well, he's accompanied by his 2 other friends, Murahama and Matsuda. Now, they did train for 2 weeks entirely just because, well, they didn't want to go to school the first week. But yeah, or not the first week. The first week they train, and then the other week, and then they just decide to skip and go for 2 weeks instead. So, of course, they basically have 2 weeks of training. Now, with their abilities, mostly their sacred gears, they were basically able to kind of, well, do a lot of things. Like, well, mostly evolve a lot. With mostly Murahama's evolution sacred gear that allows him to evolve every time. His sacred gear was basically the level of the beginning time that he managed to level it up. It was at the time mostly when he awakened, it was at the time of being, well, only the twice critical was like a level at the same level of the twice critical. But then after mostly those 2 weeks, it kind of leveled up to being like a medium kind of, not longitis, like a almost close to what's it called, low, like very low tier longitis sacred gear. Other than that, it was, well, so of course well, mostly it's quite the very lowest tier of a longitis, but yeah, it's like literally below mostly the 13 longitises, being almost close to 14, but yeah. So of course, mostly evolution, that's the sacred gear. Now evolution allows him to basically evolve every time. So let's say that he just trains his body enough to mostly, or just like he trains his body or just experiment with his body or whatever. Like he can just add anything to his body. Like let's say that he wants to add poison into his body, like inject poison. It might hurt like a lot. But of course, during the evolution process, it's mostly a passionate skill. It doesn't need to be activated like a normal kind of sacred gear to be activated anyway. It's a passion skill, so yeah. So of course, it mostly allows him to kind of passive, passive, something like that. But it allows him to literally already evolve. It takes a while to proceed to evolve, but his body then evolves to being a poison human after that. So let's say that he eats rubber, he can literally become a rubber man. So yeah, but not the point. Right now, he can also use his blood to kind of make miniature pills to evolve them into anything. Like he injects something into it, it will evolve into that specific kind of animal or whatever. Like say if someone wants to kind of eat this pill will have mostly Motohama's blood, but it will also have the DNA of a boar. They will transform into a hybrid form. Think of it like mostly the Zoan types of, well, mostly One Piece. The Zoan types of the Devil Fruits, where if you eat a devil fruit that was a Zoan type, like Eagle, Phoenix, Dragon, you can actually become the hybrid type of it. Or you can also become like the full kind of animalistic like them. But yeah, but not the point. Of course, the word, well, mostly that's Motohama's secret gear, and it's kind of strong, very strong, not the point. But of course, the other secret gear is, well, not the other sacred gear, mostly that's the only sacred gear that he has. Now, he can also kind of transform himself into a gas element, so yeah, I already said that, but not the point. But of course, we go into mostly Matsuda's sacred gear. Matsuda has 2 sacred gears. One is called the Eyes of, well, mostly, so one of them is called the Eyes of Adaptation, so that's one of his sacred gears, and that is actually an active sacred gear. Mostly you have to constantly activate it by using a little bit of magic into his eyes, but yeah, just to activate it. So of course his eyes changes from mostly a kind of like onyx black towards being one kind of bluish, crystallized kind of blue slick color, while the other one is actually yellowish slick color, but yeah, golden slick color, but not the point. Well, not golden, like a yellowish, but yeah. But that's how his sacred gear looks like. It basically, mostly the adaptation sacred gear actually is based on mostly a wolf. So that's why, since wolves manage to adapt into almost anything. But yeah, any kind of environment entirely, but not the point. But of course, mostly the adaptation skill allows him to kind of be able to adapt to any, well, mostly any fighting skill combat. So it allows him to kind of copy those in like hand-to-hand combat much more easier. So he can copy their martial arts or just see their movements entirely, just able to dodge or attacks. Now the other one is called Master Relation, or yeah, Master Relation. Since that's his other sacred gear. Now Master Relation allows him to kind of be able to reinforce his body every time he's near death experience. It reinforms his body, like reinforce and reinforms, and of course slowly transforming him into a monster. Think of it like Gato. So basically these two kind of sacred gears are kind of based into like Gato's kind of like abilities, okay? You can think of it like that, but not the point. Now, both sacred gears are at mostly longitis tiers, mostly Master Relation. However far he managed to grow, if he managed to even become close to that like a god level, or even like a mostly like super devil level, then yeah, mostly that sacred gear that he has, Master Relation, will actually transform to that being a high tier longitis. It's the same for the evolution, it can evolve every time. Now, mostly with the adaptation sacred gear is actually quite overpowered, because he will be able to adapt to mostly gods fighting styles. Like let's say he decides to fight against Zeus, Adam, or someone just powerful, that being at the close level of being a god tier, he will able to be adapting to their fighting skills if they do fight him in like hand-to-hand combat. It doesn't matter either into hand-to-hand combat, it can also matter into mostly magic attacks. He can easily dodge them and also be able to copy their magic with the adaptation eyes, if he actually has the same magical capacity. But he doesn't actually have the magic capacity unless, well, Issei decides to transform him into a half dragon to mostly have the same magic capacity similar to that of a dragon. But yeah, or he can just decide to take some of the blood, or mostly some of the blood that mostly Hama has to kind of evolve him to that of having mage abilities, probably, but not the point. But of course, those are mostly the two sacred gears, or mostly the two sacred gear users that mostly Issei has, or friends, because they actually are his best friends. Now, of course, they're considered to be brothers now, because mostly in those 2 weeks, yeah, they actually figure out a lot of things that Issei does. They're either shady as shit, or they're either just incredibly kind of smart. Mostly because Issei is quite a very smart person, but at the same time, he is also mostly sometimes lazy. He just doesn't want to deal with shit like that. But not the point. We go into mostly Issei getting to school. He's been over 2 weeks since they've been in school. Now, of course, Morohama and Masuda had to go home, back to their houses, but of course, they just wanted to pack up to ask mostly Issei if he has somewhere to kind of like live temporary, because they don't actually want to live with their parents when constantly kind of being bombarded with mostly questions and other stuff. Which Issei says, yeah, he managed to take mostly a hotel from a rat a while ago, mostly before the 2 weeks were over. Mostly he went to kill off multiple rats that were in his like company, or mostly in his business, and of course just to kind of take some of their stuff that they then pay back. But of course, one of those were kind of a house, motel, hotel, and other shit. Now, of course, both Morohama and Matsuda aren't going to just live in a house together. That's kind of gay. They're like, nah, fam, we good. So of course they're gonna take the hotel just to kind of live in one of the rooms. Now this is where, they don't know how good this hotel will be at, but who cares? This is where, they are also getting paid, because, they will be getting paid if they do missions from what you call just the business and other things, like missions to either become a loan shark and just get their money, or mostly get the money back for the business and other stuff. But yeah, to either kill, murder, and other things. So yeah, they'll be getting paid later, but not the point. They just need to train on their sacred gears to become stronger. Now, we go into mostly, getting to school. Now, of course, Issei is getting to school, Murahama and Matsuda shows up also. Murahama seems to be a little bit built. I say a little bit kind of built. He also became a little bit taller. His hair also became mostly a little bit longer. It kind of became the size, or not size, and mostly his hairstyle is kind of a little bit messy, but not much. It kind of looks like, if you want to think about it, it kind of looks like this. So mostly he kind of looks like Victor a little bit more. He kind of looks like, yeah, Victor from Fire Force. So of course he does kind of wear a laboratory coat. When he even shows up to school, he doesn't care about wearing the uniform. He wears a laboratory coat. He does wear a shirt that's basically just mostly white and the color blue. But yeah, not the point. It's not red stripes, it's just white and blue, but not the point. Or mostly white and black, he just doesn't care. It's just stripes going down, not mostly sideways, down, but yeah. He does wear black pants and mostly like black sneakers, but he doesn't care too much. His hair has become a little bit bushy and kind of looks like he has an afro, but not the point, but yeah. So while mostly how Murahama looks like Victor from Fire Force, mostly Matsuda started looking like mostly Toji Fujigoro from mostly Jujutsu Kaisen. His hair started growing a while ago, and also mostly Murahama managed to figure out mostly a, not cure, but mostly create an antidote for mostly, at least Murahama to have hair, or not Murahama, Matsuda to have hair. So yeah, basically kind of managed to kind of do something like that. To kind of like give his hair back instead of having it shaved most of the time. So of course it grew a little bit faster than normal and kind of went to the size of the same kind of length like Toji, Toji Fujigoro, but yeah. So while mostly Toji Fujigoro is like 5'8", yes, mostly Matsuda became the size of being 5'8". Victor, on the other hand, I don't remember his height, but let me just remember. So Victor is 6'1", so I'm gonna just say that mostly Matsuda is 5'8", or not 5'8", he became 5'9", while mostly Murahama is actually the height of being actually like 5'10". He's a little bit taller, but not the point. While Issei is a 6'3", I did mention he was 6'3", but I might change it to actually being like 6'8". He is tall like that. He is quite tall. He doesn't care. But of course, they're going into school. Now, this worked well. Mostly, they're kind of like showing up to school. Of course, it worked well. Everyone in the entire school, like mostly life, was thrown upside down because, well, the new kind of trio perverts came back looking different entirely. Well, mostly Issei was already considered to be a menace to mostly society, but he came back with his two best friends looking like they're complete menaces. Yes, Toji also, well, mostly not Toji, mostly Matsuda. He looks like a complete menace. He looks just like Toji Fujigoro. He's physically built. He does have like a body of an athlete because he did train like hell and did involve his body to get rid of all the fat from his body and then just mostly train to be back to mostly his middle school self, but a little bit more built than that, than his middle school self. Of course, where Matsuda, or that's Matsuda, not Murahama, that's Matsuda's kind of health condition, while Murahama did look like he built himself up to be a little bit stronger, but mostly skinnier and taller. But of course, well, he's actually a little bit taller than mostly Matsuda. But of course, where Murahama is right now, kind of looking like a complete scientist. And of course, usually grin like a madman. This is where, well, he doesn't have his glasses because he actually put eyelenses. Or not eyelenses, mostly thanks to his evolution and managed to evolve his mostly sight much better than ever. But yeah, mostly evolution allows him to kind of, well, become much more better in everything. His physical stamina and other things, but yeah, he can train, and yes, his physical abilities will evolve every time. But he's not much but like trainer junkie like mostly Matsuda. So of course he's mostly like a scientist, and would rather find either a easier way to kind of evolve, but not the point. But this is where, well, everyone is just kind of completely shocked. Right now, Matsuda, he's basically, I should mention that Matsuda is wearing the outfit similar to that of Toji Fujigoro, while mostly, yeah, I already said Murahama is kind of wearing that outfit of like Victor, but his stripes going down, but not the point. Like a shirt, stripes going down, but yeah, not the freaking point. I'm rambling on. But of course, Issei is wearing mostly an outfit that's basically a pink, or not pink, a purplish coat, blackish shirt, purplish pinkish kind of belt, and of course, well, he is wearing black pants. Now, of course, he's also wearing kind of like black shoes, not really. He's wearing black kind of sandals and not keeping it fucking damn. He's wearing black sandals that basically has the symbol Nike. That's all. He just does not care. Doesn't work. Well, everyone else is kind of just like not really caring, but yeah. Everyone in the school is just shocked to see these three menaces just come back, looking completely different from mostly 2 weeks ago. But yeah, or mostly Issei came back 2 weeks ago looking completely different, but not the point. But of course, everyone was shocked. But we go into mostly first hour. Everyone was so quiet, shocked, and afraid. Issei right now still has a very menacing aura, and of course his shades are not helping. You cannot see what color of eyes he has, so of course they're not helping. Of course, well, he could be sleeping for all you know, and you won't even know. This is where, well, Matsuda on the other hand is right now kind of ignoring everyone. He's mostly looking at, well, mostly like a pencil. He's just flipping it around like he doesn't care. This is where he actually snapped the pencil to like 3 ways, but yeah. This is where, well, other than that, we go into mostly Murahama, who is literally not paying attention to the teacher and literally doing a science project by himself. Because yes, this is chemistry right now. This first hour is chemistry. But yeah, this is where everyone is just completely shocked, dumbfounded, and just scared. This is where, well, they don't know what to do. They literally do not know what to do. They need help. They need an adult. Even though the adult is literally hiding into the corner, and that's literally the teacher, but not the point. Sorry, we're burping, but let me go back into order. But of course, where, well, we go into a time skip of mostly, well, mostly 5th hour. We go into 5th hour time skip into mostly skipping all 4 hours because pretty much everyone was scared. But we go into 5th hour. The gym teacher was actually changed to a different gym teacher because the other gym teacher was dead. Yeah, he died from the fact that Issei was pissed against him, but not the point. Now, the gym teacher, they don't only have a gym teacher, so of course, it's just a substitute. The substitute does not know any of the students' names, so of course, when he had to call everyone's name, he calls Issei's name, and Issei was the tallest motherfucker out of everyone. The teacher says, okay, goddamn, are you a goddamn basketball player? He asks mostly Issei. Issei says, hell no, I'm just someone that does not care about anyone. This is where, well, the teacher said, okay, fine. This is where he questioned for Matsuda. Matsuda says, yo. This is where, well, the teacher says, god damn, are you a fucking athlete for like the swimming club or something? But mostly Matsuda says, nah, I'm not into swimming. I'm into track, but not the point. I like running, not swimming. This is where, well, the teacher says, okay. This is where, well, he then says for Murahama. Murahama was saying, I'm over here. He's over here at the bench right now doing a science experiment. And this is where, well, the teacher just says, okay, I'm gonna just say you're a scientist. You're basically ready to be a scientist. Hell yeah, I am. This is where, well, Murahama just answers and replies. Teacher chuckles, but not the point. This is where he then goes on with everyone else, and everyone else was just quiet. The substitute was quite interesting with mostly the other 3. Of course, where, well, mostly we go into Matsuda right now running from gym, mostly the gym wall, all the way down to the other gym wall. Mostly either back, forward. Yeah, you get the point. He's basically running. He wants to get back into shape to going into the track team, because even though he might not really care about school and other things, he would actually like to go back into his hobby and just running. But not the point. This is where, well, he might go into a different hobby like swimming now that he thinks about it. Maybe go into a swimming club, but he doesn't really want to get wet most of the time because, well, nah, he's not that type of person. That, and also he doesn't want to be bothered by any of the girls because, well, he does know he would probably get sabotaged by the girls. Because the swimming club team is actually both boys and girls together, but yeah, for some reason, mostly Matsuda does not want to deal with that. Now, Murahama, he's right now over here doing experiments right now, trying to figure out mostly different chemicals and other things, but yeah. But then we go into Issei, who's literally fucking standing above, or mostly not standing, mostly sleeping on the benches and doesn't care. He's right now next to mostly Murahama. So if any like experiments go wrong, Issei will be fast enough to apply and destroy them. So yeah. And this is where, well, everyone else were just scared. They're not going to the side where Matsuda, or even, well, not Matsuda, where Murahama and Issei are at. Now, Matsuda is really just dodging the basketball players, like those who are actually playing basketball, and just running backward, forward, running backs, and yeah. he is so much fast that basically every time he kind of runs past a basketball player, the basketball player thinks that he's gonna get tackled down by a football player, because that's what literally Matsuda is right now running at, almost that same speed of like a football player. But this is where, well, he starts speeding up to be much more fast and being a blur. But yeah, this is where some of the people who were basically on track just realized, hell no. If they get mostly Matsuda on their team for mostly track, they already know they're gonna win everything, because well, Matsuda seems to be quite fast and much more faster. But yeah, he does crack the ground somewhat, just indent it, not crack it. But yeah, he's not trying to fully just show off his speed, but he's using his adaptation eyes to literally dodge all the people that are in front of him. So that's why he kind of goes into the basketball kind of team, just to dodge him and not get hit by the basketball, or kind of mess up some of the basketball players like movements and just mostly just playing. But of course, some of them kind of get started with mostly Matsuda running past him, back around him. Yeah, you get the point. So yeah, and they're scared to actually mostly not healing, mostly hitting Matsuda in the head with a basketball, because if they do, they're probably gonna get the basketball hit towards their own head and basically make their head into a basketball, literally. But not the point. But of course, everyone else is just happy, whatever. This is where, well, mostly Matsuda, he's right now did kind of work up a sweat, but not much. But of course, so of course, with all that happening, we go into mostly a time skip of, well, mostly the 5th hour being over, kind of. Mostly some football players wanted to actually fight Matsuda and even Issei and even Murahama, but of course mostly Murahama just ignored them entirely, while mostly Issei got up because he was a little bit getting bored in his body, was getting cramps, so of course he was stretching, popping them out, while Matsuda stopped running, and of course decided to kind of go up to the football players and says, how many are you gonna take out? Issei says, I don't care how many I'm gonna take out. All you gotta know is if I take out more than you, that means I'm gonna take half of your check. This is where, well, mostly Matsuda says, wait, what? First mission that I give you, and if you manage to pass it and manage to get the money, I'm gonna take half of it. This is where Matsuda says, oh, hell no. This is where, well, mostly Issei grins, right now disappearing from the view of mostly a football player, grabbing him from the face and smashing him into mostly his knee. This is where the football player was knocked the fuck out. This is where the others right now tries to attack mostly Issei, which Issei was about to attack them by swinging his backhand straight towards him. But of course, mostly Matsuda appears, right now grabbing one guy from the face, smashing him down to the ground, and then kicking another guy in the face. This is where he then grabs the same dude, because he managed to lift that motherfucker up, because even though this guy looked like he's heavy, he grabbed this dude and just throws him straight towards some other guys, like bowling ball. But yeah, like a bowling ball. Bowling ball, and just like throw him straight towards him, like knocking them out like pins. This is where, well, most students say, hell yeah, 5 people are knocked out. This is where, well, the 5 people were like, they're groaning from pain. This is where, well, mostly Issei says, huh, I guess I can't take half of it. This is where, well, most students say, thank fucking goodness, I need some of that money, Jag. This is where, well, mostly Issei chuckles and just didn't care too much. This is where, well, the teacher, mostly says the teacher just saw this and just said, huh. Not doing any of that. I don't care. But yeah. But of course, well, we go into mostly a time skip of almost getting to 6 hours, because yeah, mostly he has, what's it called, 6 hour with mostly Murahama, but not the point. This is where Matsuda has to go to his own 6 hour, but this is where, well, he was actually stopped by mostly the student council. This is where, well, Sanji and Momo was the one to stop them. This is where, well, and also another person, it was Momo, Sanji, and also, well, so there was also a girl with kind of brownish hair and kind of, what's it called, lightish brownish eyes. This is where, well, her name was Ryuya. Ryuya. But yeah, mostly, or not Ryu, mostly, yeah, I'm gonna just call it like that. Fuck it. But of course, well, they basically stopped mostly Murahama and Issei from getting to 6 hours. Which mostly Issei gets annoyed, and of course was about to just use his strings to take them out. Until mostly before that any happens, mostly Momo was the one to firstly speak, saying, Issei Hyodo, Murahama doesn't really have a last name, I'm just gonna call him Lich, but yeah. So Murahama Lich, you are supposedly have to go to the, what's it called, student council. This work well. Murahama says, and what if I don't want to? He has something right now on his back right now, tossing it up and down. It's like the small little vial of chemical. This is where, well, mostly Issei notices but didn't really say anything. This is where, well, Momo says, then we will have to force you to go over there. This is where Motohama says, really? Force me? A pretty girl like you would try to force me. This is where he grins with such an evilish freaking grin on his face. Says, okay, then bring it, Momo. This is where Momo glares at mostly, well, none other than Motohama Lich, because yes, mostly Lich is mostly from the last name of Victor, but not the point. I'm just taking it. Whatever. This is where, well, mostly Momo kind of narrow her eyes towards Motohama. Motohama right now grins with his onyx black eyes. Or he doesn't have black eyes. He does have like crystallized blue eyes. And right now kind of grinning. This is where, well, he says, okay, cool. Then I guess we will have to see who's stronger then. This is where, well, Motohama was about to take his vial out and was about to just crack the vial and just throw the chemical straight towards him, splattering upon all of them. This is where, well, mostly before anything else happened, this is where Momo makes a magic shield to block the chemicals. This is where Motohama says, damn it! This is where, well, he growls at mostly, well, Momo. Momo says, you're gonna have to do better than that. This is where Momo kind of glares and narrows her eyes at, well, Motohama. She didn't know exactly what chemical that was, but she then realized what kind of chemical it was. It was a poison gas chemical. She then kind of narrowed her eyes at mostly Motohama. Motohama narrowed his eyes at her. And this went well. Mostly he then kind of like grabbed some vials out of his jacket, smaller vials, and started shaking them upon together. Mostly creating another vial and was about to toss it towards Momo until this is where vines appear underneath the ground and grabbing his hand. Just mostly it was made out of magic. This is where, well, mostly Motohama says, damn! Well, it seems you're quite interesting, Momo. This is where, well, he grins. Right now, then tossing the chemical down, smashing down to the ground, and of course, splattering it upon most of the vines, destroying it. This is where, well, Momo narrowed her eyes and said, damn it, reducing magic? What the hell is that? I thought he was just a normal chemical user scientist. This is where, well, mostly Motohama says, oh, don't think that you are about to escape from me too easily, Momo. You're going to die. And you're going to be the first one that I'm going to kill. This is where, well, we'll see Momo wind her eyes when Motohama appears right in front of her. This is where, well, he then kind of uses his hands, and this is where a magic circle appears right in front of him. It's kind of like, mostly it's kind of white and black at the same time magic circle, but it has the symbols of like serpents on them. This is where, mostly he's a magic style serpent, what's it called? Serpent summoning. Multi-headed copperheads, but yeah. This is where, well, multiple copperheads appear from the like magic circle. This is where, well, mostly Momo went her eyes and she just dodged him. She says, snakes? Really? This is where she makes her own magic circle appearing underneath, well, mostly Motohama, and says, this is where she says, magic circle spell, summoning, frog catcher. This is where a frog tries to catch her, mostly Motohama. Motohama grins and says, wow, quite interesting. You're basically interested in frogs. Well, I'm interested in snakes. Could this be a funny, rivaling relationship between you, Momo? I know you're a smart girl, but would you really be able to defeat me? But then again, this isn't a rival anyway. This is mostly a battle. This is where Momo narrowed her eyes while mostly Motohama right now grins with a psychotic grin. But yeah, we go into Sanji and right now Ryu kind of just looking at Issei. They're unnerved a little bit because it seems that Momo's having trouble with mostly Motohama, and Motohama seems to be a genius in this fight. This is where, well, before anything else happened, this is where Issei says, well, it's time for you guys to fight me. Well, I don't really want to fight you guys because, well, I really just want to go to class and whatever. But I guess you people won't let me do that. So, this is where, well, Issei right now kind of points his gun, well, mostly not gun, mostly points a hand finger straight towards mostly Sanji, and Sanji says, wait, what are you doing? This is where, well, mostly Issei says, bullet shot. Well, he says Ito no Mi, bullets. This is where, well, it's these like small little string bullets right now smashes upon mostly Sanji right now, making fall down to the ground. Ryu right now tries to make her own, I think she was a bishop, I can't remember. I think she was a pawn or bishop, I can't remember. But she tries to attack mostly Issei and using magic circle until mostly Issei just destroys the magic circle by just using a bit of Conqueror's Hawk and just destroying it. This is where Issei says, pathetic. You will not be able to defeat me like that. This is where Issei right now kind of uses a bit of Conqueror Spirit onto mostly Ryu and knocking her out. She falls down just passing out because she didn't have much will. This is where Sanji's like, damn it, I'm not strong enough. Damn it. This is where, well, he then noticed Momo and even what's it called, Motohama having this battle. And of course, both of them are actually showing a bit of battle lust on their faces. This is where, well, mostly it was quite scary. Mostly Sanji was actually kind of scared of mostly seeing this side of Momo. While mostly Momo is actually feeling happy, more adrenaline around her body, which made her kind of shiver in pleasure, but not the point. She's basically happy to ever fight someone else who is basically the same kind of smartness as her. She is quite smart. Mostly Momo's very smart and using magic and other things. That's why she's considered to be a bishop, but not the point. This is where, well, she's actually quite happy to fight against someone who's almost the same brilliant, let me say that again. Brilliant, just smart as hell, but yeah. But of course, well, she's so sad that they're going to have to end this battle. Because they cannot, well, she cannot keep up this battle, because, well, if she does keep up this battle, then mostly she will lose. But this is where, well, she then says ice magic style, ice encapsulation. This is where, well, she tries to, well, freeze mostly Motohama. Motohama notices and winds her eyes. He says, damn, you bitch managed to got me. Well, time for me to freeze. This is where he freezes in place, and this is where Momo says, I got you. This is where, well, mostly Motohama says, you did get me if I let you. This is where, well, Momo wind her eyes, because these, like, mostly orange serpents appear around her body, well, mostly around Motohama's body right now, burning the, what's it called, ice and destroying it. But other than that, I'm gonna have to leave it here for mostly, or, yeah, I'm gonna leave it here for kind of part 3 of this what if. Other than that, bye, so yeah.